Coming up next, we'll talk about career envy, the beach, the ocean, and how it affects how you start. We'll take your calls and your chats. And it all starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville. Thrilled to have you with us. You are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you can do it, and how you can get there. It is about your purpose. Now, we're going to talk about it in the context of your work. Now, you are more than a one-dimensional person. So we talk a lot about life in the midst of the conversation. But we believe that you were created to work, to contribute, to influence your world with your unique role. Now, your unique role, you can perform that role in multiple different sectors of the economy, in the marketplace, if you will. So it's not a one silver bullet dream job or career or even the path. However, that unique role is in your sweet spot, the intersection of what you do best, talent, what you love to do most, passion, and results that matter most, mission. You figure out that intersection, there's multiple places in the marketplace for you to match up. We call them the marketplace matches. So that's what we do in a nutshell. It's all about you and how you can make a difference in the world. That's a fun conversation. It's very hopeful. It's exciting. And we need more of this right now and fast. Men and women who are on purpose, making a positive difference in the world. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. You can submit your questions via the chat room right now, and we'll get to them a little bit later. So I saw an interesting article from Harvard Business Review on the upside of career envy, and it irritated me instantly. I understand what they're trying to do with this article, but I'm just going to pull some recent data that was cited in the article, and let's talk about career envy because we all experience it. And I'll just give you the headline is meant to draw your attention, and it worked. What they basically say is that the only upside is for you to turn that negative energy, the negative thought, which is envy, and focus on curiosity and yourself and how that person got there and how you can get real with it. So it's a nice little spin, and I appreciate the effort. I really do. But there is no upside to envy. A recent study that was cited in the article said that more than 75% of people report feeling envious of someone in the last year. So there's no question that envy can be a motivator, but it has to be like a spark, and that's it. If it turns into a fire, envy will just burn you alive. It's not good because it turns into comparison. So I appreciated the thought, but here's what I wrote down while reading it. If envy is a spark where you are somewhat jealous of somebody or very jealous of somebody's progress, as long as you don't compare your journey, your story, your station to their situation, then it can be, in fact, a spark. But it's got to stay there. And then we're going to get our eyes off of everybody else and comparing ourselves to everybody else. And we're going to compare ourselves. Meaning, did I make progress today from yesterday? And the next day, we always compare ourselves to yesterday's version of us. That I'm cool with. So that led me to this thought. And this is a really, really good way to bottle discontent. There's a lot of people that say, oh, you should be content. Yes, I think you should be content with who you are, meaning how you were created, your strengths, your weaknesses, your situation, things you can't control, your environment, your experiences. You're content with who you are, but not content with where you are. Because I think we should all be growing. So there's a slight nuance there. I'm okay if discontent is about progress, but I'm not okay with being discontent with who you were created to be. It's like me walking around wallowing in discontent with my lack of athletic ability. I was a decent athlete at best. I wasn't super fast. I couldn't jump very high. I'm not a big guy. I don't have all the fast twitch muscles. I just don't have it. But I'm not going to wallow in that. It's not who I was created to be. I was not created, and Madison's going to appreciate this, to be Christian McCaffrey. I'm just not. I don't have it. So I'm not going to sit there and compare myself to him, even though I love sports. I love playing sports. That's not going to get me anywhere. I'm going to be a bitter soul who sits on the sideline of life. But I can be discontent with, hey, if I'm not being a better husband, better father, better friend, better host, better author, better speaker, well, that's a problem. I should be discontent with just the status quo and being average. I want to be the best version of me. So there you go. Do not become an envious person. You will become bitter very quickly. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. Don't forget to fire away those chat questions. And just a little commercial here. If I can't answer it in the chat room, I'm going to tell you, because if I don't have enough information, you're a phone call away. Now, right now, we have 2 phone lines open. The calls, they come and they go. But you could call right now, live. And I'm sitting here waiting for you. Don't forget, I'm in the vacation mode. Coming up in a couple weeks, I'm going to go to the beach. And I was thinking about it this morning. And I came up with the thought, the beach, the ocean, and how you should start. Whatever it is you need to start. The side business, the education, the training, the new gig, whatever. Going to give you a little thought there. So that's coming up. But first we go to the phones. Erica joins us in Tallahassee, Florida. Erica, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. How are you?
Erica, I'm living the dream. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for taking my call.
You bet.
So I've been listening to your show, and I have a question. My job's extremely busy. I'm way over allocated on hours of what to do, tasks and what to do. My supervisors are trying to get a new employee for our division, but I don't know if and when that will happen. I also don't know if that position would actually be able to help mine. My boss is also insisting that I invest in training, which I know is a good thing, but he says do it on the clock, and if I do that, I'm going to be behind on other things. So it causes me a lot of stress. I get paid decently well, but I don't know if the workload is a good fit for me long term. So I just wanted to see your suggestions for maybe what I could do better, or if I should consider looking for something else that would be a better pace.
Yeah, I think you start looking for something else really quickly. Don't jump. I would stay where you are and let's see if things get better. But you know what concerns me? Assuming I've got the full picture, and if there's something you left out, let me know. But the red flag that I have is that you've talked to your supervisors. You said plural. So you've talked to them. They know about your situation, and their big answer is get some training. Oh, but you got to do it on the clock, and we're not going to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so now you're going to be behind on everything else. It just doesn't seem like there's any relief in sight. But do they at least acknowledge that you've got way too much on you?
They do. They do. Yeah.
So what that tells us is you're not delusional.
Yeah.
Because I think that's important. Because here's what can happen. You can all of a sudden become a very doubtful person right now and start to go, well, is it me? Am I not competent? And I can really. So the good news is they've acknowledged they've got too much on you. The bad news is it doesn't feel like they've got a plan. But I would do one other thing. I would double check and over communicate with them that this person they're trying to hire, would that person take on some of your responsibilities? If that's the case, that looks like there might be some relief on the horizon. That doesn't change my advice that you need to start looking elsewhere. Life is too short to feel like you're drowning at work, you know?
Yeah.
Now look, there are seasons, but I don't see any relief. But that's why I'm asking you to double, triple check. Is there relief coming? And if you have done that and they've not given you an answer, that's more confirmation you need to be looking elsewhere where there's a healthier leadership structure, where they're just better leaders.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's state government, and so they have to submit things to their higher ups and even to the governor.
Well, you had.
So it's
yeah. Well, as soon as you said state government, I lost all hope.
Oh, no. Because it's very bureaucratic. You have to go through the process, the red tape, and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I want to make a blanket statement here because I don't want to offend anybody, but I really don't care if you get your feelings hurt on this, because I'm just over the sensitivity. I'm just over it. Anybody listen to me for half a second knows I'm not controversial and I'm not trying to step on toes, but I am a truth teller, so here it comes. I believe, Erica, that there are good leaders in government. I do. Mm-hmm. Local, state, federal. I do. However, they are handcuffed by bureaucracy, which is an insidious disease that makes good leaders powerless. There's my statement. I think you need to be looking to get out of state government. It's not going to get better. And if it does, I'll be the first to go, hey, I was wrong. Miracles happen. You know? Mm-hmm. It's not going to get better.
So would you have any recommendations of where to start looking? Just maybe my skill set and passions. Like I know you teach that, just kind of look in other fields.
Yeah. Start with the Career Clarity Guide. It's a free resource on my website. It'll allow you to go, because it'll allow you to go through this a little bit slower pace than if I just switch gears on you right now. But let me just answer this. What's your sweet spot? You find out what your sweet spot is. There's multiple roles in the marketplace for you. Mm-hmm. So what are you good at? What do you love to do? What results matter to you? And you look for that in the marketplace. You have tons of transferable experience. You have tons of transferable skills. You know it. I'm talking to a very confident person right now. But listen, you've got time. You can put up with a couple more months of this if you know that you're on your way out and you've got your eyes on a new mountain and you're going to scale that. You can put up with a little bit longer. So that's all I'm saying. But go find something in your sweet spot. The intersection of what you do best, talent, what you love to do most, that's passion, and results that matter most to you, mission. 844-747-2577. I will tell you folks, candidly, one of the things we're going to start talking more and more about on this show, we are going to talk more about leadership, what healthy leadership looks like. We're not going to become a business leadership show. However, the two dominating reasons why people leave and are unhappy at work are, number one, they're not in their sweet spot. That's what we specialize in here. Being on purpose, working on purpose, out of self-awareness. That's what we're always going to specialize in. However, the second major reason that people are unhappy and leave companies is leadership. Bad leaders create bad culture, and people leave leaders. They don't leave companies. And that's what's going on with Erica. She's not leaving a state government job. She's leaving poor leadership. So there's my little, I'm just going to drop that out there. And so here's the deal. You want to call in? We get these calls. You know, I speak for EntreLeadership. I'll be giving a keynote next month in Orlando. Yes, we're going down there. Yes, there are thousands of people that are coming, and we're going to have a big time. It's going to be fun. But if you've got a question about your leadership, you're listening in, you're going, hey, am I leading my team well? Am I creating the right culture? We'll take that phone call. We'll help you out. John is next in Portland, Maine. John, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, it's an honor to speak with you today. How are you doing?
John, I'm living the dream, and the honor is mine. What's up?
So I got a question to you kind of about a toxic work environment. Okay. So it's important to know that it's just a part-time job. It's kind of to help with my debt snowball. I've been there for about 3 years, and at first it was to help pay for grad school, but when I finished that, I've been using it for the debt snowball. My buddy owns it. It's strictly commission-based. When I first started working there, it was a very fun environment, but increasingly over as the longer I spend there, my buddy / the boss and owner has continuously become more disrespectful and constantly demeans me. The problem is that this part-time job is only 4 to 5 hours a week, and I bring home a lot of money. It really helps with the debt snowball. So I'm just kind of stuck between, should I continue dealing with this, or should I maybe, I have 2 other part-time jobs I can pick up hours, so I'm just kind of unsure what to do. They just don't make as much.
How have you dealt with it? Have you talked to your buddy and said, hey, dude, something has changed, and you talk to me, you really talk down to me. What's happening? What has changed? Have you had that conversation?
Yes, sir. I've had several conversations with him, and he usually changes for like a day, and then he kind of slowly falls back into the same kind of bad habits.
What kind of stuff? Give me an example.
Yeah. So, again, I only work there like 4 hours, 5 hours a week. And, it's an appliance sales store. So, sometimes I might mislog stuff, like common stuff when it gets really busy. I try to do my best, and he kind of just makes me feel stupid for forgetting even one small thing, even if it had no impact on, kind of his organization. He's kind of, raised his voice to me a few times, and in front of other employees, he kind of like calls me out for making bad decisions or doing stupid things.
Are you doing stupid things and making bad decisions?
No, the way that he would make it sound, sir, yeah. I would say not to the extent. I'm like not logging when I return a call to like a customer. I'm taking care of the customer's concerns, but it's more of just not like annotating that I'm returning the calls, those sorts of things.
How many times?
It's nothing like I'm not.
I get it. I get it. And I'm not for the way he's talked to you. I get it. I'm not for it, but I also want to dive in here a little bit. Is this a pattern of things, like little details that you just keep dropping? The same basic kind of stuff? And how many times has this happened?
Yep. So, I will say that I just got back I was gone for 6 months on some military service. So when I got back, I did at first make some of those common mistakes that I had known previously. But since I've gotten back, I've everything that he's complained about, I've taken the time after hours. Again, I'm commission based. So when the store's closed, I'm sitting back, I'm taking the time to learn.
Yeah, good.
And it's, I'm improving, but it seems like whenever I improve on something else, he finds something else to complain about.
Yeah. Well, okay. I just wanted to get the full picture. I feel like I got the full picture. I mean, here's the deal. This is a short-term deal anyway, right? And so you're making really good money, 4 to 5 hours a week. You would have to work. I heard this, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you'd have to work a couple of jobs to kind of equal the money you're making on this 4 to 5 hour a week deal, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then what are you doing with the rest of your time?
So I work a 9 to 5 salary job for an insurance company, and then
so you have a 40. Okay, so this is a second job.
3 other jobs. Yeah, I have 3 other jobs.
And you're just doing this to crush debt.
Yeah, yes, sir. And if I hold on to it, I should be debt free by next spring, like March or April.
Yeah, here's the deal.
If I don't,
yeah, here's the deal. You're a rock star. I had no idea this was like a second job. I must have missed that. But bottom line is, I wouldn't keep putting up with this unless you just go, you know what? It is how he is. He's not going to change. You've brought it up. Or you can just keep pushing back on him and go, dude, stop this. Because what do you have to lose? If he fires you, who cares? You know, this is all extra income for you, and you can go get, but you're working 3 jobs. I wouldn't continue to put up with this, is my point. I just say, dude, this has to stop or I'm walking, because you have the leverage here. He doesn't. You know, you're making good money, yes, but I wouldn't continue to keep putting up with this stuff. No. You've got too many other opportunities, and you're in good shape. 844-747-2577. We talked with Erica a little bit earlier about the Career Clarity Guide. This is our free resource that we developed to kind of help you in that get clear stage, which is stage 1, that leads you to purpose and meaningful work. Okay. And so we put this together. This is the exercise I walk through with callers, and we look at talent, passion, mission. And we help you begin to work through a rough draft of a purpose sentence. It's not meant to be, it's not a full-blown assessment. It's not even an assessment. It's just a worksheet guide that for many of you, it's easier to do on your own instead of calling me to walk you through it. And then once you do it and you get stuck, or you've got the information and you're looking for ideas, you can call the show. So it's almost like a starter for many of you who need to call into the program. But it's low pressure, or it's also a great resource for other people to begin this process of self-awareness and self-discovery. It's absolutely free, KenColeman.com. So I'm not selling you anything. I'm giving you the Career Clarity Guide. It's at KenColeman.com. Go get it. All right, to the chat room we go. And by the way, as you're watching, if you enjoy the program, give us a thumbs up right there below the video window and subscribe and share. That helps us tremendously. All right, Lisa writes in, I have no idea how to find my sweet spot. I can do so many things, but nothing excellent. Okay, Lisa, I disagree with that. Because if you can do something good, then you can do it great. Now, you can't take something that you suck at and be great. I just don't think that's possible. You can be okay, but if you just don't have much talent, it's hard to turn that into a really, really great skill. Okay? I just believe that. I'm talking if you don't have the actual raw talent. If it's not there, if the materials aren't there, we can't make it. Okay? That's my point. You need to take the Career Clarity Guide. I just talked about it. And then call the program. Let me engage with you and walk you through this. Lisa, you could call right now. Right now, your phone call away. But I can't do this in a chat. Aaron writes in, how do you find your sweet spot when you're fairly certain of the goal? You've been chasing it for 8 years, but education is mandatory and you can't get accepted to the school and are losing the drive and desire. Oh, Aaron, please call the program. Please call me. Please call me. I'm in this studio 2 hours every day. We got YouTube, and then we go right into the radio and Sirius XM program. Every day, 12 Central, so 11 Central, 12 Eastern, 12 to 2, call. I really want to know what's going on. Chasing it for 8 years, and you're having a hard time getting accepted in the school. This is a shift, a pivot is all that's necessary for you. But again, I don't know the details. I can't help you in the chat room. Please call. Rachel says, my husband is experiencing burnout due to toxic management, being overwhelmed and is not appreciated. He can't find another job because of COVID. What can we do? I don't know what the rhythm is today. I can't answer this one either. I got to have specifics. But I'm excited. I can help. You got to call. So here's the deal. Burnout's a feeling. It's not a medical condition. These are just the emotions. And you laid out the reasons for buildup on his heart. Toxic environment, and he's overwhelmed and not appreciated. Okay, I don't know what's going on with what you mean by he can't find another job with COVID being in place in the same field. What can we do? In this situation, if there is no alternative now, because of, let's say that COVID has put a lock on it, then what does he do? He changes his mindset and he starts going, what is it that I would need to do to get where I want to go? And how can I begin to prepare now? Am I saving? Am I sacrificing? Am I taking a second job? Am I beginning some new qualification and training online? There are some things your husband can do right now to get ready for the future. But again, I don't know the details, so I can't tell you specifically. All right, we'll do one more here. Sandra writes in, I've been a nurse for 22 years, but I no longer want to do bedside. What should I do? Okay. Assuming you no longer want to be in the room with the patients, what are other areas of nursing that you are intrigued by, or let's say interested in, which is next level, or that you actually desire to do? You're already in the nursing field, so you're qualified, most likely, and we're talking about minimal qualification would be necessary for you to pivot from one side of nursing into maybe another area. So I would begin to identify other areas of nursing and go talk to nurses. You're in the field. And so that's, this is great. I just got, Madison just told me, we were just in the chat room with Lisa, just to remind you at home watching. She said, I have no idea how to find my sweet spot. I can do so many things, but nothing excellent. And I said to Lisa, call, because I can try to help. And so Lisa called. This is why we do it on YouTube. You're watching, and now she's on the phone. Toledo, Ohio. This is so exciting. Lisa, thank you for calling. You're on the Ken Coleman Show.
It is a privilege. Thank you so much.
Well, you're why I do the show. I'm so fired up. So explain yourself. I can do so many things, but nothing excellent. So tell me what you do that you would say, all right, I'm good at this, Ken.
I'm very creative.
Tell me more about that. How are you creative?
I've had my hand in a lot of things. Excuse me, I'm 44.
Okay.
I have 2 teenage daughters, so I have a psychology degree, but I don't do anything with that. That's not something. We'll get to that. But
yeah, just tell me how you're creative first.
I think I've done photography. I love to create design, although I don't know that I'm necessarily.
What kind of design? Interior or website?
No. Like I have an iPad Pro, and I love to create. Like right now, I do flat illustrations. I'm not necessarily a graphic designer or anything like that, but
that's okay.
I can take something and make something great out of it.
The point is I want you to get to a place where you begin to identify, Ken, this is what I do. I do this good. And if I can do it good, that means greatness is on the other side of that with practice and performance. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. So what else do you do good? Give me the top 3 or 4 good things that you do, Lisa. If I interviewed everybody that knows you, I did a documentary on you, and I said, what has Lisa always done well? It just came naturally to her. It was easy for her. It was effortless. What would they say?
I think I'm a leader.
Okay, good. Love that.
I love working with, and I have found just through my own teenagers that I have a desire to help maybe teens, especially girls, maybe just helping with them feeling valued and loved. And I don't know if at risk is necessarily that spot, but I have a desire for that. I've worked with youth a lot in my life.
Okay. How are you?
And I just
tell me more about you though, what you're good at. I want to know. So I've got down that you're a creative person, so mostly visually creative. You have an eye for things that are, visually pleasing. You're a leader. What else are you? Give me some of your soft skills. What are some of your personality or character traits that are really strong?
I'm a person of service. I like to serve people. This is a really hard question for me.
Okay.
I'm just going to be honest with you.
That's okay. Is that because you have self-esteem issues? What's locking you up? Where's that come from?
I don't know. I think maybe there are times when I feel like I'm not good enough, and I don't feel like there's anything in my life that is, nobody's told me that. I don't feel that.
So it's just a little bit of confidence. Yeah. So give me a situation where take me to a recent situation where somebody complimented you on something and it was some type of service-oriented thing, or maybe you were interacting with youth because you've worked with youth in the past. Take me back to a moment where somebody complimented you on something that you did in that environment.
Something specific?
Yeah, you don't have to tell me a whole story. What did somebody compliment you on when you were working with youth? Did a young gal say, hey, Lisa, thank you for this? I'm trying to jog your memory because I'm going to tie it in here in a second. Give me just one thing.
Honestly, it's been with my own daughter and our own situation.
Tell me what she said. That counts. Tell me what she said.
Well, we've come leaps and bounds. She battled with depression and anxiety. And we've been through the battlefield, but she is, thank God, on the other side of that.
Yes,
and
awesome.
She tells me all the time that she's so thankful for me and for her dad and just, what we've pressed into her life. So
tell me what
I've learned a lot.
Tell me what you've become good at for your own daughter in this area. She's had to tell you. Listening. Good.
Yeah,
see, I was waiting for you.
Listening. I've learned a lot as a parent.
Yeah, I'll bet. But you're a good listener.
Listening. Yeah. I mean, I think I had to learn to listen because of her, because I was trying to kind of mold her and shape her maybe into who I thought she needed to be.
Yep.
And I've learned a lot to just kind of let go.
Yeah. That's good. Where are you at on your muscle of empathy, which is putting yourself in other people's shoes, and then compassion, which is acting on that empathy? Where would you rate yourself on that? 1 to 10. on both of those?
Maybe a 7 or an 8.
On both?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel that you're a good connector with people? Like you naturally connect with people? It's easy to just make a connection and communicate with them?
I do feel like I am good at that. I do feel like I can be very social when I need to be, but I am also an introvert.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, totally does. Totally does. That's where you derive your energy from. You know what I mean? And so that silence and that isolation gives you energy as opposed to big groups and things of that nature. So, that doesn't affect any of this. All right, here's the fun question. And I want you to stop thinking, Lisa. I want you to feel. Okay?
Okay.
I give you something tomorrow you cannot fail. And let's just go where your heart has leaned, which is young people. And let's specifically go towards the people you most want to help, the problem they have, and the solution to the problem. That's the 3 questions I ask people in mission, which is results that matter most. So if you're going to do work, you want to create results with that work that make your heart sing. And I feel like you've given me all the answers. So if you could help young people, the people you most want to help, let's just say young girls, okay? And let's say their problem is they've blown it, they've done something, or they're dealing with depression and anxiety. Maybe substance abuse, who knows? You just let your mind run for a moment. And the solution is some type of counseling or mentoring. And I'm using that loosely here because I think it's interesting you have a psychology degree. I think it's interesting that you've actually learned more in walking with your daughter through depression than you ever did in the classroom. Can I get an amen on that?
Amen.
Yes, you have. I knew it. Well, what would you do tomorrow, Lisa, if you knew you couldn't fail? And I just put you right into the sweet spot. Boop, there you are. What would you do tomorrow?
I would mentor teenage girls. I would help them feel valued and loved and help put them on a better path.
Yep, that wasn't difficult. Everybody listening and watching the program knew what the answer to that was. So the issue is, what does it take? That's get clear. You're in stage 1 right now, get clear. You're in the process. I don't think you're out of stage 1. The next stage is get qualified, which is we look at, okay, what do I need to do or learn to be qualified to do that? Well, great news. You already got a psychology degree. That's your foundation. There might be some licensing. There might be some training, some seminars, certifications you may need to get, but that's largely not going to be too long and too expensive, I wouldn't guess. But you begin to identify where are the organizations in Toledo, Ohio, the greater Toledo, Ohio area that are helping those girls. Where are those girls congregating? And the confidence that you should have is that you helped your daughter through it so you can help other young girls, can't you?
Right.
Now, how would that feel if you woke up on a Monday morning knowing you were going to spend your day and your week pouring into young girls and helping them become the women that they were created to be? How would that feel at the end of the day?
Like it mattered.
Yeah, because it does. See, your pain with your own daughter has turned into passion for other young girls. Isn't that true?
It's very true.
So what do you need to do, Lisa?
Well, I guess I need to figure some things out around here.
I love it.
I'm kind of in a tough spot because I have a job right now and I've been watching.
That's okay.
I don't feel like I'm where I need to be. So now I need a transition.
That's okay. Can I take the pressure off? I'm going to give you a couple little homework assignments. Okay. Number 1, answer the question, what do I need to do? What do I need to learn to be qualified? This is research, right? And that's based on this idea of mentoring and counseling or whatever. Because you may not go the counseling side. You may just go the mentoring side. And it is possible, Lisa, that you just start by doing this on the side, volunteering a little bit and wade into it. I'm about ready to teach on this. Your phone call is so perfect for the teaching. I want you to promise me you're going to keep watching the rest of the show, okay? Because I'm about ready to speak some more to you and the rest of the audience. But let's just do some more research. Who's helping these women in your area? Who's helping them nationally? How can you get involved? on the volunteer level, and then what would a professional level look like? Because you're already in a day job right now. I think we've identified the mission for you, but who says it has to be full-time right now? You could build up to that. Are you tracking with me?
Yes.
Yeah. Don't put all this pressure on yourself to make a change right away. Let's just know that that's where you want to be. For the rest of your life, at 44, you're 44 years young, and you've got a lot of young girls you can help. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
You're awesome. Hey, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you for
appreciate
trusting me. I know you were watching and you sent a chat, but thank you for trusting me to call in and be vulnerable. And I love your story. I really do.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I really appreciate you. I bought your book for all of our graduation gifts for our young girls who are graduating this year. So
that's so awesome. How many?
So thank you.
How many young ladies?
Well, I bought 5.
Great.
Just because those are the parties that I knew we would be heading to. So
love it.
We bought those and just want to make sure they can start off well. So thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you. Okay, now I'm putting you on hold, but I want you to listen. All right. So, Joe, that was fun. So now I'm going to teach. And I'm so excited about this because this is Lisa's situation and a lot of Lisas out there. Okay? We don't leave the dudes out, so we'll call them Larrys. All right? Okay, here's the thought. So I love the beach. It's my favorite place in the world to just go vacate. And so in a couple of weeks, we'll go to the beach. And the first day that I get out on the beach, Joe, I will wait and get nice and hot, right? And then I'll be ready to get in the water. But my approach will be this. And this is the approach for those of you that are starting something. Some people like to just go, yeah, and run out there, and I've done that a few times. You just start hopping waves and you just get in. I don't do that often, and I don't recommend it professionally. Go with my approach on what I normally do, and that is this. I walk up and I just get to the very, very edge of the wave as it trickles in on the beach, and I get my toes wet. Whoo, that's a little chilly. Madison. That's going to be a little alarming when I dive in. And what do? I stand there for 2 or 3 minutes, and my feet start to sink, and then I go, I got to get out a little further. And what do? I wade in a little more. Shin level. Couple splashes. Hit the thighs. It's like, oh boy. This is going to be cold. This is going to be alarming. What do? And I keep wading out a little bit more. And I get out to my waist. Oh boy, that's cold. Come on, everybody's done this before. And you're like, oh geez, don't let it be a wave that gets up here. And oh gosh, I'm cold. And at what point then do we all just go, it's time to get in now. Now it's time to jump in. But here's what happens. It is a gradual wade in process. And that's the way to get started. Look, it's less alarming. It's less shocking. It's less scary when we wade in. And professionally speaking, you need to wade in if you're starting. Just get the toes in. Then we get to the ankles, then the shins, then the knees, then the thighs, then the waist. And now we're in. And now we realize, it's not that bad. And the advantages of now diving in are there. So it's actually not a dive because you're in. Now it's just all right, I'm easing into the water. Going under. Here we go. I'm immersed. I'm in. Oh, folks, I'm telling you, I made so many big mistakes by diving in. It's not all it's cracked up to be. There's wisdom in wading in the water. Wade in. I think it's going to be much better for you. And that's what Lisa needs to do. Lisa doesn't need to quit her day job. She doesn't need to just dive in. No. She's going to stick her toe in the water. Then the ankle. And she's going to okay, let me see what's going on here. How's this feel? She's going to wade in. And as a result, she's going to win big time. Oh, Joe, I can't believe it. My time's up. Well, before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter. You do have what it takes. I promise you. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.